Welcome to video 3 in the Hidden Art of Homemaking series. All right, guys, welcome back. I'm Laura Wilkie with Down Home with Lemon Pie, and we are going through this book here by Edith Schaefer, The Hidden Art of Homemaking, chapter by chapter. And if you need any information, if you need to find the series, it is all listed in the playlist in the link of this video, so you can find it all there. But this is video 3, so welcome back. We are diving in today to chapter 4, and if you are kind of new, I do recommend you go back and listen or watch those other videos. You could even just listen as like a podcast style if you want to do it that way, but they will be informative with what we're going to do today. So today we're going to jump into chapter 4. Like I said, it is about painting and sketching and sculpturing and how to add these elements to your home as a mom, as a homeschool mama, what have you, and the ways in which we can, include art in our lives. And we talked about in the very beginning of this series about how God is the ultimate creator, and He created us. He was a creator. He created us to be creative, and this is a way that we can not only encourage that and show our children that, but also just help ourselves, help yourself to be fulfilled in your day-to-day life. And when you think about moms and homemaking, it can feel mundane. It can feel like it's just the same motions and there's just no fulfillment. And I think a lot of times that is where moms get maybe burned out or they just don't feel like it's good for them anymore. And I think it's because they aren't seeing the fulfillment of being a mom. And so this is exciting. This is about painting and sketching and sculpturing. We talked about music before. And she talks about right off the bat, not everybody, just like with music, is not a natural painter or artist. But when you think about children, and we talked about this with music, how children will just go into any instrument and just go at it. They will just play whatever, and they don't worry about whether or not they're good at it. They want to try everything. And painting is the same way. Sketching, sculpturing, all of that kind of stuff is the same way. Kids are so eager to learn those things. They want to do them. And the creations they bring us in the very beginning are not spectacular. They're not like great works of art by any means. But what do? We immediately hang them up. We put them on display. And I think that's what this is partially encouraging here. It says, be satisfied with the fact that although your art or your talent may never be accepted by the world as anything great, and you may never, it may never be your career, it can be used to enrich your day-to-day life. It can be used to enrich it for you, for the people with whom you live. And secondly, come to a recognition of the fact that it is important for you to be creative in this area to the extent of your talent. It's important for you as a person who is a creative creature. I like that. She gives us a couple examples here, and these are like big examples. Okay, she does have some smaller, more day-to-day things here as well, so stay with me. But these bigger example, paint murals on your kitchen walls, paint the walls of a child's room, the cellar, playroom, a bulletin board. Maybe it's a bulletin board that you change seasonally or monthly, or somewhere that you can just add things that you do, like a clip on the wall. You know how they do that with kids? That's a big trend where they'll have clips up on the wall, or maybe even with string. We have that in our home too. And then each time the kids make something, they take down the old, put up the new, or whatever. And it just means so much to the kiddos. It does, and it does to you too. And you can see your progress. We lived years ago in a house in Houston, and I painted behind our headboard. We had painted the walls kind of a gray color, like a light gray, and then I painted with white birch trees that came up from behind our headboard, and it was just beautiful. I hated to leave it when we moved because it was so beautiful. It looked so good, and I just loved it. And it wasn't like this grand thing. It was really a simple thing. It was literally just white, like straight up, and then I just took the gray and went through and made like the lines, and it just looked good, and it looked beautiful and classy and nice. But that wasn't the point. The point was that it was something that I had done, something like a personal touch that I had added to our home and to our bedroom, and it was just beautiful. So that might be an idea for you. It says it's not necessary to attempt such ambitious projects as the ones we just talked about. You can do just day-to-day things. She says she's talking here about writing a letter. People don't write letters as much, but you might write like a thank you note or something like that. And, you might add little sketches along the side or whatever. She says you have also enjoyed yourself and stimulated your own imagination in doing that. You're a housewife with masses of things to get done in a day. Boy, don't you know it. And everybody has a list of things to do today, things to get done before the end of the month, things to be finished over summer, all these little lists, the shopping list of improvements to make in the house, list to spur one on more efficient living, schedules, and all these things, right? But she says, what could be a better outlet for a sketching talent than decorating such lists with artistic, colorful, or amusing sketches? I think that's a great idea. However, I am going to point out that in today's age, we put a lot of those lists on our phone, or at least I do. But I still get this. I still get it because I do love pen and paper. For homeschool, for like planning, I love to do it on the pen and paper. For weekly planning or yearly planning, I love to do it on pen and paper. I love to, and this isn't even something you would do, but you always gravitate towards those things that are more beautiful. Like when I'm searching for a homeschool planner or something, whether it's a tangible one or one I'm going to do like a digital and then print it, I'm always looking for one that is beautiful, one that has more likely kind of that old-fashioned vintage floral feel. That's what I'm looking for. Why? Because we appreciate that art in our homes and in our lives. And this is the same kind of thing. She says lists that are decorated with black and white sketches or with a variety of colored felt pens come alive for you and help to spur you on to what is listed. To say nothing of becoming a decoration for your kitchen and office bulletin board. Absolutely. Here's an idea. We have a menu that is a magnetic menu. It sticks to the front of our refrigerator, but in the past we've had other ways. And I have the marker, they're like chalk markers, and I will go in and put our menu items each week on this little chart. And if it's a special week, like somebody's birthday, I'll draw cute little cupcakes around that day, or I might put balloons and put their name or whatever. Just little things, little touches throughout that, help. And like I said, we didn't always have it as a magnetic thing. One time we had one of those old tin trays that I had put chalkboard paint on, and I would just write it on there. There's just so many cute things. Let's see. She says, we're not all cartoon artists, but any flair in that direction can have a place in human relationships. Requests or demands are softened and take on importance when they are decorated with touches of beauty or humor. I like that. If you are wanting to approach somebody or something in your life, and it can be not as harsh if it's like that. It's exactly why emojis are so popular, because when you write something via text, it's not always perceived the same way as what you wrote it. And then you'll add an emoji like, oh, look, I'm laughing. That's a joke, But this is in our day-to-day life, so I like it. At the same time, there is fulfillment to that which is in danger of being destroyed. Yes, because it's all the same. It's the same grocery list every week. It's the same routines, right? So why not make those things beautiful and lovely for us? Okay, another idea she has. Perhaps your talent for sketching can be used in drawing, with icing on the cake instead of just happy birthday. Or maybe you're adding pictures or flowers or books. If it is a time for a card, do not simply buy a card, but maybe make one or add one, sketch it, paint a whole booklet to commemorate a big occasion. I love these ideas. While this is an outlet, it is also something which develops human relationships on a real and human level, a personal level. It's not just something we grabbed at the store rather than artificial and plastic. I like it. Yeah. Day-to-day life, guys, it is so easy to get caught up in just the routine of just constant. I get it. So yeah, I like that. I love that she includes also when you can do them. She says this could be a good use for part of one's lunch hour at work or for the interminable wait at the dentist or doctor's office. I like that. Yeah, you can find time to fit these things in. She says you have to write out menus for special occasions like Christmas or New Year's. That is so true. If I do not write out the menu, then I lose track of what I was planning and things get missed. So she says if you're going to write it down anyways, don't just scribble it on the back of an old envelope, but nice paper and at least a good paper, quality paper, embellish it with illustrations, table settings, garden scenes, market scenes, decorations, or do something more than simply write out the menu. We had a big chalkboard in our last house, one of those big wall ones, and I would use that as like my menu planning area. And I would just, at the holidays, I would just write out this huge chalk menu on it and then erase it when we were done. And it was easy. If I screwed up partway through, I could easily erase it and fix it and move on. And it was just a nice way, but then it was also like on display for our just to set the tone for the mood or whatever the occasion is. I did the same thing at birthdays or birthday parties. Pin it up where it will encourage you in your cooking. This was part of our kitchen, so that worked. Encourage others who are hungry for a meal. It will not only be efficient, but will also add importance and dignity to the task of cooking. So true. When you have a menu, a posted menu that people are expecting you to live up to or uphold, it is encouraging. It is. So, okay. Let's go to sculpting now. It says, yeah, sculpting. This is talking about even if you don't have like good sculpting skills, you can, she says, carve a child's toy. Whew, that is a task, I would think. The head for a rocking horse, the handle of a wooden spoon. Okay, now you're getting more into my style. Or make a figure to put in a miniature window garden. Yes. Something that I'm going to be planning to do this summer is we are collecting rocks and I am planning to paint them up completely, the whole thing, to look like play food to have outside. Of course, we'll have to put a sealant on it because of weather, but just to have some things outside that they can play with, but that are fun and natural. She says, oh, this is so important. If you get nothing else from this video, get this. Do not let this desire be simply a frustration that turns into bitterness when it could grow and develop given some small outlet. Yes. We have made all kinds of things. I've done several videos about things that we have made in the past, but we made a mud kitchen for our kiddos when they were little bitty. We made wooden blocks for our kiddos. We made little wooden people for them that we would buy and I would just paint them up. We've made so many things. We made a dollhouse. I made a dollhouse once and it was like an old shelving thing that was wooden that I found at a garage sale, and I painted it so that each shelf area looked like a little bedroom. And then we made these little wooden people that we ordered on Amazon, but I painted them and they were the family that lived in this. So what the point is you can do so many cute things. And this was for our small children and they didn't care if it was perfect. Okay. We weren't trying to make it into a big business or anything like that. It was just for us. And even some of them we gave away as gifts. Like I made one for my niece as well. And yeah, the kids are so forgiving. They're so forgiving. They look past all of that, and we should too. This is talking about if you teach a Sunday school class or you lead a scout group. She says ways that you can make that better. You can enrich that. You can just, there are times when games or songs can be illustrated with posters descriptive of the words. Try your ingenuity at making a different kind of an animal with an ear or nose to be pinned on instead of the pin the tail on the donkey, right? We've done that for birthday parties. These are also great ideas for like budget friendly. If you don't have a big budget like we don't, these are some great ideas to make your kids some toys to do their birthday parties inexpensively. Just do it yourself, and the kids don't mind. They really don't. Illustrate songs with paintings. Prepare a tiny song book for each of the kids that's illustrated. I like these ideas. Do not wait until someone asks you to illustrate your book. Like, wait around until they decide that you're this great artist. Just do things. Just do things. Do things for your kids, your grandkids, or even maybe you don't have grandkids. Maybe for the grandkids you will have one day. Make them cute little songbooks that they would just things they would treasure. Do not wait until someone asks you to illustrate their book. The children will be thrilled with their handmade books, and you will have enriched your own life as well as theirs. A lot of times we forget that part of the appreciativeness of an activity like this is not just for the person who's receiving it, but the person who creates it. They have fulfilled something within themselves to create this, so that is good. Okay, talking about church, I did a whole video on this. I will link it below because it's a good one, and it is about what we do in church, how we get our kiddos to sit with us, and the things that I do personally to create a legacy. I talked about this already, and I want to continue it because I was already doing this for years, and apparently she does it with her own kids, or did, and I love it. But she says, you know, you've got kids in church and they don't understand the sermon, okay? I go through my Bible, and this is slightly different than what she's talking about, but I go through my Bible and I have colored pens in there with me, and I will highlight or add little notes, little words of wisdom. Sometimes they're just sketched on there, or sometimes they're just like cursive, or sometimes they're like sketched, maybe they're balloon letters or whatever. I'll add flowers all around the pages. And I talk about this in that video. I even show you guys clips from my own Bible. And yeah, because I am creating a Bible to give to each of my kids when, you know, I don't know when, I don't know when they get married or something. But I'm creating a Bible for each one of them, and they're all different. They're all personalized with either, you know, mom's drawings and mom's insight, things that I heard during the sermon, or things that, you know, came to me while I was listening or whatever. Anyway, she also talks about something she does or did. She had kiddos sit next to her. They didn't understand the sermon that the preacher was talking about, the pastor. And so she would draw it out. She kind of made like a little book, and she would draw it out for them, whatever was going. And the benefit to this is that then they could take it later throughout the week, and they could retell the story. She would add simple words, simple drawings. And it wasn't like she was this great artist. I'll show you pictures here in just a minute. But it was able so that they could know what's going on. It was useful. She says, as I draw, I whisper small explanations into the ear of the child, as well as writing or printing some explanations. First, it means the child can go home and retell the sermon with some help to mother. Second, it means that a collection of such sermons can be kept for years, and the rereading of them brings back understanding and memories of the time when the shared hour took place. There is value in continuity in life. I love it. I used to do this with my son. He struggled sitting still in church with us, and he would say, I just don't know what they're talking about. And so I would take, you know how they give you the paper for the sermon notes, and I would flip it over on the back, and I would draw and write a very general, age-appropriate summary of what was going on, what we were discussing, and it was very helpful for him. Now he can listen on his own, but these are some of the drawings like she did, and like I said, they're very simple, but you get the idea. So there you go. She included a bunch in here so that you can look, because it's important that we're able to to see what others are doing and to know that even though ours is not perfect, it's still good, because this was good. Yeah, that's just really good. So she goes on, if you think, she explains how she does it and the different things that she did, so you can know that. But if you think in pictures and express yourself in drawing, it would be quite natural to take some of the promises of God and sketch them as you pray. Absolutely. That's what I was talking about, what I do in my Bible. Yes, she goes on talking about how she does that, how she did the Holy Trinity, just the whole thing. So she talks all about it and explains it. This is why I wanted you guys to actually get this book, not just listen to me, because I'm not associated with her. I'm not reimbursed, but I feel like it has value, and I feel like it's something that you would want to go back to. You're welcome to watch these videos multiple times. I would love that too. But I feel like, at least for me, having something in my hands is just something that, you know, that I can go back to, and it can help me. So that is basically that whole chapter. That basically wraps that up. Next week will be interior decoration. I'm excited for this one too. Yeah, it'll be another good one. So stay tuned. If you aren't already, do subscribe. And you can find all of these videos in the playlist by the same name, Hidden Art of Homemaking. Thank you guys for watching. And I'm Laura Wilkie, and I'll see you next time.